Lamentations chapter 3, verse 24, the prophet Jeremiah made the statement, Jehovah is my share. But what exactly did he mean by that expression? And how can we have Jehovah as our share today? Well, knowing the answer to those questions will be very important as we draw closer to the end of this system. So to understand what he meant by the expression, Jehovah is my share, let's briefly consider his background and what led up to him making that statement. In Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 1, he made a complaint to Jehovah. He asked why the wicked ones were so successful and why the treacherous one worried. Now, he asked that question because he saw a lot of wickedness going on, and no doubt he felt overwhelmed by it. Let's see how Jehovah answers him at Jeremiah chapter 21, verse 8 and 9. Again, that's Jeremiah chapter 21, verse 8 and 9. And to this people you should say, this is what Jehovah says. Here I am putting before you the way of life and the way of death. Those who remain in this city will die by the sword, by famine, and by pestilence. But whoever goes out and surrenders to the Chaldeans who are besieging you will keep living, and he will have his life as a spoil. So Jehovah saw the wickedness going on. In response, told Jeremiah to preach a message of destruction. So Jeremiah preached that message for decades, and finally, true to prophecy, Jerusalem and Judah was destroyed. The wicked ones he mentioned didn't pay attention to the warning, and they died. So Jeremiah had his answer right. He asked why the wicked ones were successful. Well, now they were destroyed, so he did have his answer, but there was still something wrong. As Jeremiah looked over his homeland, which was Jerusalem, he felt sorrow and grief at the destruction of it. He even said he felt as though he was walking in darkness, like Jehovah made him sit like dead men for a long time. So for a brief moment, it was obvious that Jeremiah had let his emotions get the best of him, and he lost sight of what was truly important. But turn with me to Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22 through 24, and notice how he came to his senses. It's Lamentations chapter 3, start at verse 22. It says, it is because of Jehovah's loyal love we have not come to our finish, for his mercies never end. They are new each morning. Your faithfulness is abundant. Jehovah is my share, I have said. That is why I will show a waiting attitude for him. So he remembered Jehovah's loyal love and his mercy, and that it was because of those things that he was still alive. Now, it was then that Jeremiah said the words, Jehovah is my share. But still, what exactly does that expression mean, Jehovah is my share? Well, think of the word share as provider. Now, Jeremiah had lost his homeland. He had nothing else left except for one thing that Jehovah provided for him, and that one thing was the most important thing he can have in his life, and that was his service as a prophet to Jehovah. See, Jehovah in turn, being his share, provided everything else he needed. So what about us? How can we have Jehovah as our share today? Well, Jehovah provided us with the privilege of service as well. Let's consider a scenario to help visualize how we can have Jehovah as our share. Let's say you're going through some financial or health problems. You pray to Jehovah every chance you get to get out of the situation, but you've been spending all your time focusing on solving that problem yourself, that you've been missing the meetings, you've been missing service. Now it's been a whole month, and nothing has changed. See, in this situation, we have to remember that we have to put first our service to Jehovah. Only then can we say that Jehovah is my share. Now, in these last days, it may seem hard to do so, but we have to trust that Jehovah will provide for us. Only then can we say that Jehovah is my share. So in conclusion, as we move deeper into the last days and more problems arise, may we continue putting our service first and relying on Jehovah to provide the rest for us. Or in other words, letting Jehovah be our share.